It's you again. What is it?
And in case it doesn't work, we still have some skill points stocked up, so it's fine. 42, that's doable.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
That's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh?
The lieutenant raises his brow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because of some chick, because you're a foreigner, because you work for the wrong people, because they like killing, because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
They just hang you like in the Dark Ages, make a display of your corpse. They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember. They just hang you, shoot you, light you on fire. They don't care. I'll take the second one here.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Okay, I'll listen to Volition here. Turn to Angus. Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis! Stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet, so quiet you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
He grabs his chest.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Okay.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Glacier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared.
How did you...
Someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs, the 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
Sorry. If Claudia didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
The can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Yeah. Okay, so who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Claudia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
That's good. Okay, whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it, for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The missing 8th Hardy? That's the other girl?
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
He just knew he was gonna say something, huh?
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood. Can you tell me anything about her name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Claudia you want to talk to.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Claudia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
still, after all this headache.
But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
Fair
We'll
enough.
take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Yeah, but also she lied to Tequila, and he's not gonna take that well. He's not gonna take that well at all. And I guess he's gonna feel a bit vengeful, I suppose. Oh, right, there's probably a shorter path. Though, to be fair, this is not a long route either. It's a couple more screens, but with very short ways to go. You feel someone watching you behind the glass door, a woman. Yeah, that makes sense. It's classy. Okay. Oh, what's this?
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Ah, because we have a cigarette, our intellect is slightly higher and it hit the threshold for the visual calculus thought about the age. Okay, it's what she said, yes?
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old.
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Miss, how old do you think I am?
Huh. How old do I think you are? I don't know. 1, 2. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How old is a newborn cop who doesn't remember he's a cop?
I think... Let's be delusional. I think I'm circa 35.
You're not.
He's squinting at you.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Maybe to a point, but at some point it becomes not just a number.
Yes, but for him that number is much larger than 35.
Yeah,
Wait.
most likely.
This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on, I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Okay, date of birth generator. Okay, let's take a look at that. Temporary research bonus, none. Research time 7 hours 15 minutes. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100. Both longer than they ought to be, the day and the century. But for how long then has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those old brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? I don't think this thought is important enough to actually take it up. But, you know, I like reading the problems anyways. I think it was like 40 something, 47 maybe? I'm not sure. Not quite sure. But it was in the 40s.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug down. You don't look surprised you were expecting this? You sent us on a runaround. You lied to us, miss. Chill, I'm the cool cop, remember? You lied to us, miss. I think now he's like really pissed. You lied to us, miss.
I didn't lie. Not a lot. I've done my absolute best not to. I just...
Come on. She lied through her teeth, and you know it.
It was a mistake. I'm sorry for wasting your time.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I am the law. The law, that's me.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. Where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it, another world.
Okay, is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern? What's the RCM's involvement with the moral intern got to do with this? The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern, you don't have to worry. Let's go with the first one.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lights the cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Lewsdoen County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewscop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
Okay.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lewscop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that. You're right, this is bad. You've destroyed what people have built. That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into. He's still mad, I think, and also partially a capitalist, so I guess he would not particularly like industrial espionage, so let's go with the second one.
I am a destroyer. People lost their jobs. Good people. Not just C-suite assholes. And the way I got into accounting.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
That's bad. How do you live with yourself? That's not easy to deal with, or not. Let's get back to what happened here, okay? That's bad. How do you live with yourself?
I don't. How do you live with yourself?
I do drugs, I drink, I just try to smoke as much as possible. I'm a cop. What I do is right, by not remembering a single goddamn thing. I don't either. Does he justify it? I think he justifies it as he's a cop, so what he does is right.
By bargaining, then. I do that too. It's not all that effective.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Your cigarette, miss? I'm sorry this happened to you. Are you sure you're not making this up? Shake your head, that's a motherfucker. Just not. We're going to need more details. I think he's just gonna be cold now. We're going to need more details.
She looks down with a wince. Her cigarette has singed her fingers. She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Don't have it equipped right now, but don't worry, electrochemistry, I'll think of that.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them, and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
Okay.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
Okay, visual calculus had a failure there, because my viscalc is not great. Honestly, not looking too bad from my intellect stats, but like it's still on the baseline because like encyclopedia, rhetoric and drama are looking rough there, but still, those stats are not great for me.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where's this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
Okay.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Thank you, Perception. Did you kill Lily?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
Rage? Who knows the dark currents where lovers go? All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs, people have this crazy idea that you killed him. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. Who among us, having been in love, can't say they haven't thought about it? Oh, that's rough. Desire drives people loco. Drugs are an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end. Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss. You know what? I'll go with the worst option here, number 3. Who among us, having been in love, can say they haven't thought about it?
What? Fucking themselves over for no reason? This is not what happened, officer.
Desire drives people loco.
She simply shakes her head. She has the training for it. You've known it since she first greeted you here on this roof.
You have the training for it. I can see it in your posture, your shoulders.
The work I did, they don't just send you in with no training. Corporate security is a thing. But I'm not a trained sambal fighter. I've never needed it outside the gym.
Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions. Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did?
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
Okay.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you are hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth.
I don't think so. Why did you do it? Or I'm not gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna say the rude thing because he's still pissed about being lied to. I'm not gonna disagree with you.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Thank you, Kuna, for contributing to the police being called. Very helpful of you, young man.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer. And it makes you sweat.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a drag?
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody.
Drama legendary. In God's name, wake up.